you like edit these and like you upload a header and a footer for it. Like
Not yet. No, I was actually researching a bunch last couple days. Talked to Deegan about it. And trying to find a good free program that I can make a thing.
Good and
Welcome to
free
Bug
are
Deck, guys.
so rarely things that you hear
Deegan
together.
is bringing some real world technology to you there, Mr. Neil. Wise Neil.
What's
Making me
up?
pause,
Welcome
making
to
me
November
pause this.
4th.
Late
Oh,
November.
so yeah, welcome to Bug Dad.
Welcome to Bug Dad.
We got
Today,
15
November
entire
4th.
minutes
I was a little nervous
of
coming into
Elden
today.
Ring
I didn't really have
gameplay.
much to talk about. Like honestly, like I hadn't added anything to our show notes.
The week was pretty slow for you
Yeah, and then just
till about 12,
by
15 today.
the gift of just 15 minutes of raw footage.
raw, uncut gameplay.
Well,
Well,
you
it was cut. There was cut gameplay.
you do seem the most emotional about it so far, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the wheel on it.
Yeah.
What happened today? What did you see? What were you feeling?
Well, it was the Elden Ring trailer, if anyone's figured that out by now, and just the next Soulsborne game. And I was very taken by the fact that you got the horse, you got the open world, you have the jump, which was all added mechanics. I mean, Sekiro, you had the jump, but we haven't had that in like a Dark Souls type game yet.
Yeah.
So, and what struck me was it was like Breath of the Wild kind of gameplay brought to what we had seen before. Very excited by that, and just looks beautiful. The story looks great so far from what I can tell, and you see like 3 bosses. Whoa!
Oh yeah.
All the boss
Bosses
fights,
look so
all the weapon arts. Looks like we got the Dark Souls 3 weapon arts back, but you can mix and match to what, and so you can change up your game's your play style based on what weapon art you match with which weapon, with I assume with what attributes you're gonna pump your stat points into. We kind of haven't seen how that broke down yet. They showed us how to craft, like so you can craft on the fly.
Yep.
I haven't seen that really. We kind of had to craft at like bonfires or the blacksmith.
Yeah, definitely another like Breath of the Wild thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the collection.
Yeah.
And
There was the bow I noticed was used a lot, which was interesting as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be one of those situations where you probably carry some sort of ranged thing and some sort of melee distance thing. Whether it's a difference in like ranged spells and like magic weapons, or if you're just running like, you know, a sword and a bow. I think there's going to be lots of switching, because I think that was one of the first things they said. I mean, I know we got 15 minutes of stuff today, but I think that was one of the first things they pointed out, is that you can kind of mix and match your weapons, and then they're further down like your weapon arts. So I mean, I know already in most of the Dark Souls games you can equip 2 weapons slots, and you can just press the.
Definitely saw someone dual wielding, look like scimitars or like curved swords. Saw the sorcerer that had like looked like the short staff in one hand, the short
catalyst.
rod. Catalyst. There you go.
Yeah, they had
shooting.
Looked like they had a ton of magic.
Yeah,
a lot of magic.
A lot of super really cool looking magic.
The summons were all unique. Like, we had the co-op. Of course, you had the NPC summon, and then you had like a summon on command. There was in that tarnished. No, it was the king boss fight, the one that like the boss fight for at the castle, Stormvale Castle. Yeah, he summoned, and the summon just did like a attack. I don't know if that was laid out attack, or if
reminded
he was
me
just
of
like there for a little bit, but that was cool.
it reminded me of Neo. Neo has magic mechanics like that where you like defeat monsters and then you kind of call them for like one attack and it burns a specific bar or whatever. But they reminded me a lot of that, which is cool. It kind of was broken in Neo.
I can
Those
see
moves
that. Yeah, you don't really
kind of
have
made
to
it a little bit
engage. Yeah,
too powerful. If you got the right ones and kind of specced into the right trees, you could kind of just sit back and just shoot stuff like that, which you can kind of do with magic already, but this was like super OP and just made everything too easy. So I
Yeah.
hope, I mean, I trust FromSoft to scale it and
definitely.
to make it not too broken, but who knows? I mean, with this game, honestly, I feel like it's going to be easier than most of the games we've had previously, just because of the different
Probably
ways
if
that
you
can
follow the
approach it.
path, like definitely it's gonna be really laid out and easy. But seems like if you try to go into the other areas, you might
It
get
just
that
seems
challenge
like
you're looking for.
seems like one of those games that if you take the time to explore everything and really find all the stuff, it's gonna make you like extremely OP. I think
Yeah, yeah.
you just
I
have
see
to do
that.
like a
Because
minimal
you're just gonna
amount
be
of
so
side quests.
leveled. Yeah.
Everything's gonna be scaled for you to like pretty much be able to do everything when you first start out. Kind of like Dark Souls, you can pretty much kind of go which way you want. Like you can go to the catacombs, you can go down to Blighttown, you can go across the bridge, you can go up to the church. Like, yeah, like some of those paths are going to be a lot harder than others if you do them right away, but you can definitely do it, and people do it in record time now. So I'm assuming it's going to be that, but probably even more scaled, because I really think this might, I don't want to say easy, because of course it's going to come out and every game journalist is going to say that it needs an easy mode, but it's going to probably be more accessible. I would think. I think you're going to be able to kind of play it more how you want to without getting so punished, where in most of the games previously, they kind of want you to play a certain way, and if you don't play that way in that game, you're going to get destroyed and you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So this one I think is just going to be a little bit more open for people like, hey, do you want to play a more aggressive sword swinging style? Well, here's a bunch of stuff that's going to help you and aid you to do that. Do you want to sneak in the shadows and stab people in the back? Do you want to sit on the back line and shoot magic? Well, we're going to over equip you and prepare you for whatever you want to do in that regards. Where again, in other games, it's like, you want to do this? That's nice. You better get to level 50 magic and this other thing before you can even equip anything that's worth whatever. And
Yeah.
that it's much harder to kind of do what you want all the time in those games. I could see that being a different factor, especially from what they showed off, just the variance of stuff in a 15-minute trailer that they showed between summons, between magic, between weapon types and weapon arts and horseback battles and ground battles and roaming encounters. And it's just, yeah, it seems like Breath of the Wild, but like even more dense. Like there's more stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot of open world in Breath of the Wild that this is kind of empty.
Yeah. Kind of empty. Looked nice though. The level design looked pretty interesting. I wonder if it's gonna be
Yeah, the like coming
interconnected.
up to dungeons is a really cool idea and like something we haven't really seen before.
Yeah.
It's like,
I like the
wonder if we're gonna
specking
get
out things in
randomly
the
generated
distance.
dungeons. Like that's gonna be cool if we're gonna get like a chalice dungeon kind of scenario.
Yeah,
Be nice. We'll see.
We'll see.
we'll see. I think they would have mentioned something like that if it was going to be in there, but we'll see. I think it's going to be more set up where you can kind of long-term adventure together in the map. I feel like when you summon your buddy, kind of like they showed, where you can kind of just summon them wherever and you guys just kind of go where you want to, and there's no like, oh, you beat a boss and then they're out of here, or like you just kind of summon them, and they were in the middle of the world and they just started heading off in one direction. And I think that's going to be more of like the co-op focus for this game, is like you get to really like adventure and explore instead of just going down predetermined paths to the boss.
Oh, yeah.
Seems interesting. Can't wait. When's the closed beta gonna be? The closed test
Ooh,
beta?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You know, I think we would have heard by now if we got picked.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks, 14th through the 17th. I think they're gonna tell people next week if they're selected or not. Start sending out codes.
That'll be interesting.
Pretty exciting. I think
Fingers
we'll,
crossed.
I have a feeling we'll get selected. I can't imagine there's like an astronomical amount of people that signed up for this. It just doesn't seem like that's the kind of thing that,
It's just big to us, yeah.
yeah, but I could be wrong.
We'll see. Game of
We'll
Thrones
see.
is really popular, and I know they're trying to push for him to be like all over it. Even though
That's
he
true.
probably was just like, yeah, make it fantasy.
It was available for pre-order starting today as well.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah. The what was the super secret, the statue and the helmet? That looked pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, it looked cool. I haven't bought a physical game in a minute.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
I think
Digital
about
games. Digital
it.
games.
I like physical games for some things.
Yeah, digital
don't
games
think I
kind
would
of just
buy it,
took
but-
over my library.
Yeah,
I just started doing it because that way I didn't have the ability to sell it or give it away, or so that way it's there forever. Forever.
yeah, but what if it's a bad game?
Then poop poop a doo.
Gotta take the L.
Gotta take the L.
I mean,
Yes,
my disk drive stopped working on my PS4, so like I had to buy a couple games digitally that I still wanted to play.
Yeah, that sucks.
I buy games constantly that I don't play for the longest time, and I'm like, oh,
That's
yeah,
why
I
PS
guess I
Plus
should
is
keep that.
great because I get that rush of buying games. that I'm not
Fucking
gonna play.
sales, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just released
Steam
those
sales.
numbers. What Xbox is like, because of the Game Pass, I guess it's like ruining sales for Xbox right now, because all of actual sales when it comes to games is coming from PlayStation users who actually just buy the game full out. And because Xbox players are conditioned to, no, I'm just going to use my Game Pass and play whatever's on there,
Yeah.
it's like way substantially low for like games that just don't make it on Games Pass.
Damn, and that really sucks too, because most of the time, I mean, I'm almost guaranteed all three companies, they sell their consoles at a loss.
Yeah.
Like they sell their consoles at a dramatic loss at hopes that you're going to buy the games, because the games are obviously way more priced out than what they're worth. I mean, dude,
Cost
they
to
just
make.
released freaking Metroid Dread for $65. Like that's an 8-hour game. Like it was amazing. It's not a $60 game, but they're also selling probably a $500-$600 piece of hardware, the Switch, for $200.
Yeah.
So they got to make that money back. And
Yeah.
if Xbox is selling
makes
at a
sense.
loss and then no one's buying those games,
Yeah.
they're just taking
So
L's. They're just taking nothing but L's.
PlayStation 4 makes up 32%. PlayStation 5 makes up 52%. And then Xbox, the remaining sales, which is 12%
Wow.
of the game sales for like any specific game. It's crazy. Rough day for Xbox. And they still can't get consoles out just as much as PlayStation can't get consoles out, right?
Yeah, I mean that's just there's just a shortage of computer chips and stuff. People are buying them up to farm for cryptos,
Yep.
which do
Do it. you should do that,
Yeah,
given the opportunity, but
yeah, might as well, right?
not a financial advisor.
No, definitely not telling you how to use your money.
Hey, Neil,
Yeah.
what do you got
Oh,
for me?
well, I mean, to continue with video game stuff, I guess Call of Duty Vanguard and Forza 5 were released today as well.
Were you able to play both of those on your Game Pass?
Uh I could play Forza 5 on my Game Pass, which
Mhm.
it is really, really good.
All right, on.
Super good.
I haven't played a Forza game
racing
since the
game.
first one.
Super
Forza
fun.
5?
Forza
Yeah.
5, yeah.
Cool.
I thought they already had a Forza 5.
The
How
Forza
about
4. But anyways, Call of Duty Vanguard, I haven't got to play that yet, but I heard that's supposed to be really, really good.
I did not participate in the beta, nor
Forza Horizon 5.
Forza Horizon 5, yeah.
oh, right
So
on.
that's like their,
So yeah,
their
they're
subsequent
open world,
game.
like
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Mhm. Very pretty.
That's rad. I don't have an Xbox, and Gran
Same.
Turismo is better, so hit me
Yeah,
up in
yep.
March.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo will always be better.
Gran Turismo will always be better for sure. I've just been using the crap out of my Game Pass, honestly. And I think
Yeah,
it
you might
is.
as well.
No, it's
And I
it's
think it
actually
is
it's a great
steal.
product.
I feel really bad for
Clearly.
game developers, man. It makes me feel really bad because I play really, really good games on it, and it's like $15 a month. That just seems like
That's
I
it?
don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. And you can
Cool.
access it from your PC if you really want to as well. So if you guys paid 15, you can access it on your like Windows 10 PC, whatever
Mhm.
games
Download
that
it.
are on there.
I think only some games work, but yes, you can do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's all of them, but it's ones that matter, I think.
There's some
But
big ones on there for sure.
I just ran through Dead
Definitely Halo.
Space. I just ran through Dead Space. I'm gonna be playing Octopath Traveler. Just started that today. And then what was the other one that I just downloaded? Psychonauts 2. I didn't need to get to because I like Double Fine Studios and I like Psychonauts 1. I thought that was a really fun game back in the day. Can't wait to see what Rasputin is going on.
Sure, I didn't play that one.
You didn't play it? CBC, did you ever play Psychonauts? No? It's like a 3D
Nah.
platforming game.
I'm aware of it, but just never played it.
Yeah, same.
I'm a sucker for platformers.
Mhm.
It's what I grew up on. So it's what I end up playing more.
That's neat. Yeah, abuse your Game Pass. Do it.
Use the Game Pass. Dead Space was fun.
Dead Space is
Oh.
fun.
Been a long time since I played that game.
There's a they're remaking that. I'm pretty sure. EA is Visceral, not Visceral. Visceral is not involved.
Boo.
EA,
That's too bad.
yeah, but they're working on their own thing. Yeah, back in July, I guess.
Okay.
2023 release date. Oh, there's a gameplay demo too. I'll link it to you. It's like 12 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look at that. I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, it's an EA remake. Visceral is doing something else. Visceral
Visceral Studios.
Games. Says they're not around. Maybe it's just the people that were in Visceral, but they're working on something else. But it's not Dead Spurs.
Not Dead Spurs.
Not Dead Spurs.
Well, hopefully EA does it right and it's just a
Oh, it looked sick. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the gameplay, it looks like, looks like Dead Space, like classic Dead Space, not Dead Space 3. Bring
Not like
survival horrors back.
the tragic
Today
downward
they
spiral that fucking game had.
today they also lifted the review embargo for Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is a really big JRPG series that is made by Atlas.
Yeah.
And it's
Mhm.
the series that spawned the Persona series. This is like the mainline series, but they announced the 5th one back in 2017 for the
Mhm.
Switch, and it's just now finally coming out next week. And the reviews came out today, and it's a big contender for Game of the Year. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That is
From what I
exciting.
can see, they changed it a lot. It looks a lot like Nier Automata mixed with like Persona.
Okay.
But like big open post-apocalyptic world like Nier Automata, where you just kind of like go out and explore, and there's just like apocalypse everywhere. But instead of like hack and slash, you do basically turn-based Persona style battles, capturing demons and negotiating with them to like join your cause and stuff. Very
Nice.
Persona like, but looks sick. I'm really excited. It's exclusive on the Switch next Thursday, I believe.
How's the
Um,
music?
Yeah, it's supposed to be incredible. It's not Shoji Meguro.
Mhm.
It's not the composer for the Persona series. But it's still an Atlas composer, and they don't make bad music over there. So everything in the trailers and everything in the reviews sounded incredible. And it's a very dark, like very dreary post-apocalyptic game, and the music really seemed to fit that, because it's still got like that weird Atlas twist to it, which I just love so much. So hopefully in a couple weeks I can give a solid review about that, because I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be a fun game.
Heck yeah. And for your Switch, you don't play a lot on your
The
Switch.
Switch.
That'll be good.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, the
mix of
Switch.
usage.
The Switch actually got a lot of love this year. Between
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter
Monster
and
Hunter.
Mario Golf. I mean,
Metroid
CBC and I played a lot of Monster Hunter.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we tore that game open. And I mean, we played a good amount of that Mario Golf game. That's fun. I played that with Eris a few
Definitely.
times, and that definitely got some play. So, I
That's
mean,
cool.
Metroid Dread as well.
Metroid
That didn't
Dread, yep.
take long, but it was still a really good game. I mean,
Yeah, it was a lot of
that's
fun.
three big titles, Switch exclusive, that I've spent a good amount of time on this year already. So one more to close it out. Seems like kind of the year of the Switch. I mean, there wasn't a ton of like PS5 stuff that was incredible. Guilty Gear,
Yeah. Few duds.
pretty much.
Resident Evil 8 was a big
Yeah.
L.
Yeah. Back for Blood's still sick. I'll
Yep.
be excited to play that, whenever we get around to that again. So I guess I can give it up to that. That was a pretty good game that was released this year. That we played, or at least I played on the PS5. But I think everything else that was really enjoyable for me was on Switch this year. Surprisingly enough. Yeah, Monster
yeah.
Hunter Rise is so good. But yeah, excited for Shin Megami Tensei 5 next week.
Yeah, I just feel like that Monster Hunter game could have came out on anything and you guys would have played it on it, whatever it would have came out on. Besides
for sure.
Xbox, obviously. But even then, I think you would shell out like
Well, that's a
$200
good
for an
hypothetical
Xbox
right
One
there.
S.
Like,
Well, if
they
it's on
did a
Xbox, it's on
monster.
PC.
If they did a Monster Hunter Xbox exclusive, would I buy a console for it?
Get a $200 app.
Probably.
Monster
yeah.
Hunter.
I probably
Maybe.
would.
Maybe. But it's like I said, it's on Xbox, it's on PC. There's no there's no Xbox games that are not on PC anymore.
There will never
That's-
be. There will never be that because Capcom wouldn't allow that. Let's be
Capcom.
all. Let's be honest. They wouldn't have an Xbox exclusive, especially if they're trying to go all.
Oh yeah, no, they're super in love with Sony, hardcore to the bone.
Yeah.
But they want to be on PC. They just said earlier this year that Capcom wants the PC to be their main console. They
Yeah.
want to like develop games specifically for PC first and console second. So
That'll be
who
interesting.
knows? But not obviously,
Yeah,
yeah, you're right,
never
not
Xbox.
Xbox exclusive.
I just feel like it's big L for Xbox people that waited for that Series S because I could play all those games right now on my Xbox One S.
Yeah, it's not gonna have any cool games until it's probably second half of its lifespan. I mean, why Elder Scrolls 6 whenever that rolls around, and I mean, what other studios did they buy? It's just whenever the studios that they just bought eventually pump out their big games,
Yeah,
then they'll start coming up, but it's gonna take years.
it'll be a breath of fresh air when Halo comes out in December. I'm looking forward to playing that.
Is that not out already?
No,
I did think that was out.
I thought that came out already. I guess I was just watching people play a beta or something.
yeah. It was the public test beta, but no, that comes out December 12th, I believe.
December 12th.
So
I'll be
we're-
excited for that.
We're still doing spoilers for Crimson Vow, Vampire Wedding Magic set.
Oh,
We got the Groom card was spoiled a couple days ago, yesterday, maybe today.
The Broom.
The Groom.
The Groom.
Edgar.
Groom. It's a
Charmed
wedding.
Groom. It's a
That's
wedding.
a-
We got the Bride like early on. So these are both characters we've seen cards of before, so it's just the current version of them. Let me go ahead and get that up for you guys. Edgar, Charmed Groom. Cool. We can see it now.
yeah.
Cool. So this is a double face card. I don't know if I've shown this type of card to you guys yet. So it doesn't have a traditional magic back. The back is actually just another card, and there's this was first introduced to us in the Innistrad set the first time we were there, 2011, as a werewolf type mechanic. So it was a human on one side, and then it would flip over to become a werewolf on the other side.
Sick.
Yeah, super sick, very flavorful.
Very fun.
There's an iconic card called Delver of Secrets. That's a human, and then it flips over to the card name on the other side is Insectile Aberration. So it's like the fly, because it's like a scientist on one side and it becomes a fly on the other side.
Sick.
And like it interacts with instants and sorceries, and so it's like it's playing with chemicals and stuff. Super cool, really tournament playable card. So they're always these cards are really good at telling a story always, because you
Okay.
get
Sure.
two opportunities to, you can actually have some progression there.
Right.
This one's no exception. So the front side is on the left here. It has like the sun there. That's the daylight side. So because there was the werewolf mechanic, so it's daylight, nighttime side is what it flips over to. You
Got
can
it.
always tell because it has the mana cost as well. And so this is Edgar, Charmed Groom. He gives other vampires +1/+1. So he, by being on the battlefield, makes other vampires stronger, as a leader should. That's a very
Yeah.
iconic magic trope there. And when he dies, he comes back transformed as this card. So when you play in the game, when it dies, that card goes to the graveyard and then comes back as Edgar Markov's Coffin. So you flip it, you take it out of its sleeve, or you flip it over. And what this card does, every turn at the beginning of your turn, you get to make a 1/1 white and black vampire token with lifelink. Vampires traditionally always have lifelink because that's the way that they invoke that it's taking blood or taking essence and giving it to the person, and when every time you do that, you get what's called a bloodline counter, and then when you get 3 bloodline counters, it transforms back into Edgar. So his coffin is producing his bloodline, and then every
That's
4th
sick.
generation he comes back. Awesome.
I
So
Heck yeah.
cool.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
love to play a
Knocking the
deck
shit
like
out of the
that.
park. Yeah. And so yeah, you like the idea is that you play him with other vampires, and like they just
And then it just
when-
makes more vampires,
he-
and you just
yeah.
he just keeps rezzing and buffing the vampires, and this is like exactly the kind of deck that I want to play.
Yeah,
This
it's
is a
all this stuff
total-
is flavorful. Like they do this with spirits on this set,
Oh.
and zombies and humans and werewolves. Those are like the 5 main tribes.
So-
on Innistrad, always. Yeah.
From what's available now and what you've seen from this set going forward, does it seem like there could be a decent meta deck structured around this card?
Oh yeah, this card's very powerful. Yeah, this would be a good. So this would be like the top end of like an aggressive white-black vampire deck. So
Gotcha.
lots of aggressive black cards with like white removal and pump spells, and this just is like the end of it. And if they can deal with it, you get some longevity. Like if you're against a control deck, you top out with this, and then it comes back. You start getting some fuel in those little
Sounds
token
fantastic.
guys as you start drawing cards. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That sounds really fun. I love.
But this
playing decks
wouldn't
like
be
that.
very good in like a mid-range or control deck because it's kind of
Right.
measly in that sense. It's got to do more when it comes
Kinda
into
need to
play.
Kind of
Yeah.
need to hit hard turn 3.
So it has to
turn
have
3.
vampires already out that are going to benefit immediately from that +1/+1 buff.
Yeah,
Like that's the meat of the
that's
card.
big-
Everything
yeah.
else is just gravy and extra.
Right. Which is already it's a buff. 4/4 monster with +1/+1.
This would be a
everything.
really cool card for a casual format like Brawl or Commander, where you pick a legendary creature, and then that's like your
You just
general.
keep it off the
Yeah, and that's off to the side, and in a special zone that you can cast it from at any time. You can pay the mana for, and traditionally, so you're constrained to the colors of the commander that you choose. So you would have to
Right.
pick a black-white deck.
Black,
Obviously,
white.
you would just pick a vampire themed deck and cards that reference
Right.
vampires, and yeah. So
Yeah, that'd be
this
super
is
fun.
like iconic for that, just to be a general, be a commander like that, perfect.
When does the full set come out? When's the release date?
Really
December?
soon. No, it's gonna
This
like
month?
a week or two. Yeah, we're
Oh, okay.
pretty deep into spoiler season. Because it's usually like 2 weeks, and we've
Yeah,
hit
you've
all
been
the-
talking
all
about
the
it
good
now
stuff.
for 2 weeks.
Oh,
That
well,
Toad
that's
card
exciting.
is still my favorite card.
that card is cool. Yeah.
The Toad, yeah. Definitely.
Uh, November 19th.
Ooh,
So 15
weeks.
days. Yep.
right
And that
before
is-
Thanksgiving.
That is probably the paper release date. So Arena, we're looking at like a week before.
Wow, it's gonna be a busy week. Well, because I've got Shin Megami Tensei 5 comes out the 11th, and then I think it's the KOF 15 beta for 3 days,
Yeah.
and then the Elden Ring beta for 3 days, and then I guess this Magic set's coming out right after that. That's it's a lot of content here in November
That's exciting.
for old Bug Dad.
Oh yeah.
King of Fighters. King of Fighters is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, hopefully we get to talk about that in a couple weeks. Hopefully we get to get our hands on that. Everybody gets to play. Yeah. else you got with us this week?
So 2 days ago, they were having an interview with the director or writer of The Sopranos, and he officially came out and said that Tony died. And I guess a lot of people were like upset and
were
wanted a
surprised
resolution
by
in a
this?
different way. Yeah, I don't understand
That's what's,
how.
yeah, because that's very obvious, I thought,
Yeah,
right? Like,
person's coming in, but I guess a lot of people were like, just give me the payoff, like let me see
Uh-huh.
him. But I guess that's what upset the
The-
director,
yeah.
because the director was like, like
that's not how it works.
even though you were supposed to, even though you're like he's a bad guy, you still, he's the main character, you're supposed to be in love with Tony, like you see stuff from his side, like that's the whole point. It's like humanizing Tony Soprano. And he was like really upset that people were like, wanted to see him die in his plate of linguine. It was just like, that's crazy to me. I felt like it was like the perfect way to end it.
It was so good. I thought it was fantastic. One of the best endings you can have.
Yeah, no, it was good. Other than the fact that it, ended in the first place. What can you do?
It's gotta end, yeah.
Everything's gotta end.
Everything's gotta end.
That's
And,
funny. I didn't know that was like a contested, debated thing. I don't know. I guess I didn't realize there was a faction of people that were like,
maybe he got out
didn't
of it.
die. Maybe he got out. Maybe. Yeah, no, you're right. Maybe.
Maybe he didn't
Maybe
get
she
shot
was
in front
She
of
was
his
late for
family.
cake. Like, oh, there's cake.
Oh, wow, he was just wanted to give him his wallet that he dropped outside. What a good gentleman. Yeah, I don't understand the big hubbub about that. A lot of people again were upset just because it ended, just because
Yeah, I
people,
can feel that. That's something I can get behind. It's like, yeah, man, that sucks. You don't want something that could end, but hey, it's
needed
it's
to.
got to. I think it overstayed its welcome a little bit. I mean, probably could
Yeah, the
have
last
ended
couple of seasons were
season
best.
before, That's cool.
Weren't the best.
That's crazy. Well, ripped all the people that apparently had their hopes up about a
Tony.
sequel
The Tony
series
Soprano,
or
yeah,
something.
return. Yeah. They're like, well, the
They already
movie
made
came
that.
out.
Did you watch that movie? I didn't watch
Did
that
not.
movie.
Saints of Newark.
The prequel movie.
Mhm.
There's a prequel movie.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
Netflix,
Oh,
It's on Netflix.
right?
I think it would be on
HBO.
HBO.
It's on HBO. It's on
Okay.
HBO for sure.
All right. I was like, wow, that's super weird. Yeah, it's a prequel, but I'm pretty sure it's just like a mob movie that they were like, if we just change the name of these two characters, we can make it a Tony Soprano origin story.
yeah.
Kind of the vibe I got from the trailers and stuff was like, man, it seems like this was going to be like its own film. And then they were like, to bring back the Sopranos and like a prequel. Okay, sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Didn't really need
Just
his
leave
origin
stuff
story.
alone. Just leave stuff alone. Did you
Just
see
leave stuff alone.
did you see the Cowboy Bebop trailer, Deegan?
No.
I saw the teaser trailer. Not
No,
third
they
one.
came out with the full shebang. It's like the full intro, and yeah, man,
How hype are
What?
you?
not hype at all. Very upset.
No?
Very, very upset that they're
that doesn't
doing
make you
this
wanna
one of
watch
the
that?
best written shows of all time. There's no
It's gonna be
need
a
for
shot
this.
for shot remake, live action.
No, it looks like a stylized parody of Cowboy Bebop. Like super like, we know that we're not going to be able to do good, so we're going to make it campy and like funny. We're going to focus heavily on it being funny, that we're so
It's funny.
not these characters.
they made it funny. Ha ha ha! Death and depression and betrayal.
I want you to watch. This is why I
No,
want you to watch the trailer and stuff like that, so we
bro,
can talk
no.
about it. And you like, I want to hear you rip into shreds about. Oh man, it was
Nah,
just like this
that's
stylistic, like
That's the
super cut.
1,000 subscribers special when we have
Uh-huh.
1,000 subs on YouTube.
Oh, man. We'll watch
I'll
all the
watch Cowboy-
Cowboy
all the
Bebop
Cowboy
live
Bebop.
stream with the homies.
Yes, when we get 1,000 subs on YouTube, I will watch this live action Cowboy Bebop and I will critique the show from my side, my opinion, if anyone cares at that time.
Nobody will, but it's okay.
Yo, but if
Well,
Netflix,
apparently
if you
1,000 people
wanna
would.
ship us
That's
a
the
copy, you know, to review, I'll take one. An advance
review?
copy.
for what?
If Netflix wants to ship us some advance copies.
Oh
to
yeah,
review,
yeah.
I
You
mean-
know, just
I
Go ahead
definitely
and
will watch it
Type that
to
bad boy up on the
groan
Bug,
and
on the
cry.
Bug Dad Patreon.
the
You can
old
get all of
BB.
my reviews.
to
Every
every
movie that
film.
I've, every
Neil,
film I've
what's
ever
our
seen.
Patreon link?
I haven't set on Patreon yet. We don't
For
have
the
we don't have
low, low
one follower
price of-
besides me.
Is
You
it not
guys
on
haven't
the
even
list?
you guys haven't even followed the page yet.
For the low, oh, that's not necessary.
Yeah, it is. Anyways,
I don't think I have a YouTube profile.
you don't have a Google,
Oh, I have a Google.
then you
It's
have
for-
a
It's for
YouTube.
business.
Ooh.
Business.
Business
it.
only, no pleasure.
You gotta keep this separate.
Business only Google account, buddy.
Business only, no
There's
pleasure.
The one
no
that's the
way.
one I use to review local restaurants negatively with.
My Yelp. My Yelp.
Your corporate account. Your
Yeah,
corporate account. You
account.
know,
go ahead,
that's-
throw my clout around.
What's your username on Yelp?
Deegan the Vegan, obviously.
No, CBC.
The melty potato, man.
Is it? Is it?
He doesn't have a Yelp.
The hell are you
He
talking
for
about?
sure does have a Yelp.
I'll hire
No.
you.
Dude,
Absolutely
we worked in
not.
the restaurant
I
industry.
would- I
That
do
shit's
not
the
use
devil.
Yelp.
That
I
shit's the
avoid Yelp at
goddamn
all
devil.
costs.
Nobody wants any part of that. If you work in restaurants, hell no. Giving some
like
plebeian
Yelp,
mouth breathe and ask customers
Groupon,
the ability to
Never
review.
again. I will never touch a Groupon. I don't care how good the deal is. You will not catch me giving that company any money. No way.
Groupon sucks so hard.
How much did you have to pay for Groupon? You have to pay for something. right?
Nothing. You don't have to pay anything for Groupon.
No,
It's
you have to
just-
pay for the right to serve the people who use the Groupon that don't tip you on the stuff that they ordered.
This is good for the tip too, right? No,
Yeah, that's a
no,
fun
it doesn't
conversation.
work like that. Oh, well, I only have this. Yeah, you and everybody else in this restaurant right now.
I know the Groupon expires today.
I
I was
know.
fully aware of that.
Ooh.
By the 4 other people that came in and used it.
Oh,
long
oh
time.
man, yeah. I don't miss that.
No.
Yeah, thankfully I wasn't a server, so I didn't have to deal with people stiffing me or being like that towards me.
Yeah, it was usually only got stiffed with the Groupon coupon nonsense like that. But the Yelp would get on my nerves a lot more than
The Yelp,
Groupon.
because that sometimes it would come so after the fact too. They'd just be like, hey, there was this Yelp from 3 weeks ago about you. Can we talk about this? I don't remember anything about that. I don't
No,
remember that.
don't remember that at all. Literally. Couldn't tell you what happened 3 days ago. You're talking about a week and a half ago? With what table? No, I've had like 170 tables since then. I don't remember though. I don't know. Maybe that did happen.
Yeah. What's your guys' worst Yelp review you've ever gotten?
I've never gotten any like personal ones that I can remember.
How about letter to the manager about me?
Ooh,
Ooh,
I can give you that
that's a
one.
good one.
that's a good one.
She was trying to order an item not on the menu, hadn't been on the menu for a while. I told her was not on the menu. She did not like that.
She wouldn't. No, she wouldn't
She
like
did not like that. Probably the way I told her that it was not on the menu. We could not make that item for her. And of course, she emailed, explained the situation to management. I get called in and I am scolded because they had to give her a gift card to get her to come back. And the way I should have resolved this situation was to let the kitchen know she wanted this item that we didn't have to see what they could have done. I don't know. I don't know what I was supposed to do there.
Supposed
What,
to not
what can you do
work in a
from this
restaurant.
item that's not on the menu at all?
For the record, she wanted tacos.
At the Abbey? Well, sorry, not the
No,
Abbey.
no,
the
no. This
Commoner.
was when I was at Hacienda del Sol
Oh,
and we did not have tacos.
Definitely had tacos. Not those kind.
yeah.
Not those tacos.
Crew
Not
food.
in my hacienda del Sol.
Not in my Bronco
Crew food.
patio.
So yeah, I always like being on the cook side. I got to make the crew food. I just got paid way
You
shittier.
got to make no money. You got to work twice as long and get paid half as much.
But you don't have to deal with no one.
That's cool. You get twice as much money in half the time. It's all good. I'll deal with people's bullshit
true.
all day.
It did make it a lot easier
To work a
deal with the
5-hour
bullshit.
shift and make
Like,
fucking 180 bucks.
Come in, they had already
200
been
bucks.
working for 2 to 3 hours and then leave before.
They've already been there for 3 hours and they're gonna be there at least another 2 after you leave.
That sucks. That's why I never applied for that job. That was always a BMO classic when some cook got uppity about like pay or something. He's like, I didn't know you applied for the serving job. I didn't know you applied for front of the house. I fucking love that shit.
That's messed
That
up.
shut them up always real quick.
Yeah, man, it's a different skill set. It's just not, different skill set. Because it's that whole mentality of like you said, Neil, and like I've heard so many cooks say, oh, I couldn't deal with that. They're not bullshitting. They could not deal with that. They couldn't handle it. You
Yeah.
literally couldn't handle it. Can I handle standing in front of a hot ass grill for 8 hours a day? Yeah, I could do it. It would suck. But y'all cooks could not handle taking people shit all day. You get fired. You run your mouth,
Yeah.
say some stupid shit, something, you couldn't handle it. So
Yep.
we get compensated because we could handle it.
And make the person feel good about it.
Your mic's away. We can't hear you.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I hasn't
Low
moved at
sound.
all.
Because
I
your
don't know what
mic
to
is
tell you.
far from your mouth.
How about this?
That's it.
That's it. It hasn't moved at all.
Is it just me? Can you hear him, Neil?
I can hear him.
You can?
Mhm.
Bummer. I could plug it in.
Yeah, I don't know. Must be on my end.
he is more turned down than the rest of us, I will say, but I could still hear him.
Turned down for what? Yeah, but I thought he was louder before. He just like got quieter.
Yeah, give me a second.
Maybe the headset's dying. Neil, anything else for us this week?
I listened to the podcast. Here, however, I should pull up.
You listen to the podcast?
So, Deegan knows. I listened to the Joe Budden podcast.
Who is Joe Budden for our listeners who might not?
Joe
No,
Budden
no.
is a rapper from the 2000s with such hit classics as Pump It Up.
Pump the jam?
Pump it up.
Just play pump it down, pump it up. Pump it up. Anyways.
Okay,
You'd recognize it if you heard it. It's
probably.
yeah.
yeah.
So
2000 and what? 2006, something like that. 2005.
So, yeah. So apparently he's trending on Twitter right now because of a clip that I think people are just taking out of context. I think Deegan just completely disconnected.
No, he mutes himself.
Anyways, a clip that I think that's taken completely out of context that says that Joe Budden is bisexual. And he comes out of the closet as bisexual. And so everybody's like, oh, Joe Budden's claiming that he's bisexual. But I don't think that they were listening to what was actually being discussed at the time. And they just like
What?
took this like
He
12-second clip of him saying, wow, okay, I like men. I like girls and guys. What about it? And people are like taking it and using it as Joe Budden is bisexual. So I don't know if it's an official. So the discussion that they were talking about. So what they were talking about is last month, the baby that got canceled off of Rolling Loud. He met with the CEO of like this LGBTQ plus community, and they okayed him to perform at Rolling Loud again. It was like him getting
Sure.
so they were talking about how that's like kind of extortion. Like you need to be like, like you need to be okay with the LGBTQ plus community. You need to like shake hands with them and like pay the money, or else you just can't perform at this certain function or whatever. I just I felt that was very weird, but they were talking about that. And so I think he was like trying to put somebody in that situation that was bisexual. Like, what do you do in that situation? But who's to say? Everybody's saying that Joe Budden came out as bisexual on Twitter, at least.
What is Joe Budden saying?
I
Or does he
don't think he's
care?
been active.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
Buzz around his name. He's like, cool, I'm trending again.
He gets to get more men and women. That's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
he's kind of a notorious not nice guy, I guess. He has had a podcast for a long time. He kind of like rebuilt a career out of podcasting, but he did it with a couple other guys. And I think this last year they both left him to do their own thing because he wasn't paying them and he just was kind of a dick all the time. And so they just left. So again, he's kind of got a reputation for being kind of like a jerk anyway. So he could just be running his mouth. Didn't he say like gave some girl? Didn't he say like roofied some girl too?
I don't know about that.
I think he did. I think he said he gave some girl like, what's it called? Not roofie, but something like that. But he said that like on his podcast. Like he's just said some stuff before where it's like, huh?
Yeah, but yeah, apparently, I guess
Well,
I
but
just
now
checked his.
he's saying he's bisexual.
Oh,
Like,
he's saying
oh, all
bisexual.
right. Sounds like he wants attention.
He said 9 hours ago. He said, "Ah, I see the word got out. Continue to spread the word, please." On his Twitter.
Sounds like he wants attention.
So
I see the word got out.
Cool. Well, he's getting it right here, Bugdad.
there
All
you
All
go,
of
he's
our
getting his
followers
attention.
Sweet BD influence.
eating that up.
Eating the Joe Budden pod breakdown.
He said it on his
Yeah.
podcast.
Said on his podcast, and again, it was during that. It was like a very deep discussion about how they feel like why is the LGBTQ plus community bullying artists into corners like that? Like same with the Dave Chappelle situation. They just can't do it with Dave because Dave won't let it happen. But pushing for the cancel and then you have to be okay with us, and cancel culture has just gotten a little ridiculous as of the late.
Sure. Sure thing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting critique. I don't know if I'd necessarily view it as like you need to pay them off, because I don't know what did baby give these people money? Did he just like go and apologize to them?
Yes.
He did give them money, or did he just apologize?
Apologize.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just like went and apologized. I mean, I think it's really just like a social issue. He was saying some shit that he clearly didn't know what he was saying. I mean, he's just, and this is no insult to him, but he's just ignorant about the situation. He doesn't know. He doesn't know about trans people and gay people. That's not a part of his life or like what he's doing, talking about. So he said some shit that he didn't know what he was saying. And everybody was like, whoa, you suck, you're canceled. And he was like, dude, I didn't even mean it. Like, I don't know what I was saying. Like, I was just running my mouth because that's what I do. I'm just talking shit. And I think he went and apologized, and
Yeah.
I think the right
No, he's
people were
able
like,
to.
oh, you know what? We believe you. Like, yeah, ignorance is a thing. Like, you didn't know, and you're going to do better and whatever. So,
Yeah. So I guess the
think
Dave
that's-
Chappelle is different because it's like he is like, no, like he'll have the conversation with them or whatever, but he's just refused to be canceled.
Well, and Dave Chappelle, it's also like, it's a joke. Like, he's not making like hateful, angry statements about anybody.
Nope.
Like, he's just joking in a stand-up special. So, it's like that to me, people getting upset to me is weird for that, just because like if he was making fun of white cisgendered males, like, who cares?
Which he does.
Like, I thought the whole thing was like equality. So like if he's making fun of white transgendered males, so it's just he's just kidding. It's not that he doesn't hate cisgendered single white guys that he already has made fun of in his acts before. He doesn't hate us
He doesn't
because
hate
he makes
anybody.
jokes about us. He doesn't hate other black people because he makes jokes about black people, which he does and has. It's a joke.
Yeah.
He's just making a funny observation about people.
About
and
life.
Right. And like, why, like, you want to be equal, but like nobody can joke about you. Like, he's not being mean. He's not like trying to tear you down. He's just making a joke. It's funny. So that's where it kind of gets to be like, well, do you want to be equal, or do you want to be like special? Or like, oh, we're special. No one can make fun of us because we're so special. Well, what? Why? equality. I understand that. But like you're above everybody and like you're too good to be made fun of. It's a little weird.
It was a little weird.
If it was hateful, if it's like an angry thing, you know, that's a different situation. That's never called for, but I don't know.
All we're saying is just love everybody. Just love. Do you have anything else, Deegan, CBC?
Got a huge UFC fight coming up this weekend.
Ooh.
Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington rematch. It's a rematch of like a huge, amazing, big fight that happened about a year and a half ago. It's gonna get part 2. Very exciting. Gonna order
Usman.
the fight, have some people over.
That was the one that Usman won.
Usman's won all of Usman's fights.
Yeah.
He's undefeated. The only person, well, no, not the only person left in the UFC. The only UFC champion, like belt holder that is undefeated.
Undefeated. Nice.
He's the, I believe he's the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world as far as UFC MMA is concerned, because I believe Canelo Alvarez is the pound for pound boxer.
Yeah.
But should be exciting. They squared off today and like faced each other and
Oh, nice
Talked.
weigh in.
absolutely horrible shit to each other for 30 minutes and then
Heck yeah.
started shoving each other at the face off and lots of drama. It's gonna be good.
Ooh, good fight.
They do not like each other. They didn't like each other in the first place and they do
No.
not like each other.
Oh, they're gonna try to kill each other.
Yeah, for sure. They tried to last time too. So
Yeah, that's great.
got that. There's a couple other pretty awesome fights on that card that I'm looking forward to. Should be exciting. Can't wait to come back next week and hopefully talk about some pretty dope UFC fights coming up on Saturday.
Heck yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Haven't seen a fight in a while. Haven't seen a good fight in a while.
Last week was good. There's some good bets last week as well. Couple of rank risers putting on some spectacles, some really fast first round submissions, and from 2 guys that are making some waves. So cool UFC stuff happening a few weeks in a row.
Hell
Got a
yeah.
low fights.
Hell yeah. Well, if that's it, everybody. That's it. Thanks for stopping by the Bug Dad. Shouts out Deegan. Go follow him, the Token Druid on Instagram. Shout outs the Melty Potato.
The melty potato.
The Melty Potato at Instagram. You can always find us at Bug Dad Pod. Pretty much everything. Signing out.